We are situated in this wonderful building with all the windows right next to the O2 down in North Greenwich. And we are a kind of creative and digital tech focused university. So we really do specialise in those particular areas. Yes. We deliver courses in subjects around the areas of digital media, design and technology, and our portfolio is growing quite a lot at the moment. We have built all of our courses in partnership with big industry businesses and companies to make sure that students are learning the right stuff for when they go out and get a job. We really champion creativity and collaboration. No students kind of work in silos. They work a lot in projects together. And a huge percentage, so 83.5% of our undergraduate home students are from what we call widening participation backgrounds. So underrepresented in higher education, but also particularly in the creative industries. And we're really proud of this. There's a huge percentage of our students go on to do incredible things when they graduate. I'm going to talk to you about a few of those things and how you and your students can get involved with us moving forward. So we offer a number of different kind of paths, I suppose. So while you're looking at that kind of Gatsby benchmark 7, thinking about what's after compulsory education in the UK, we offer further education courses. So you might have heard of the old school art foundation courses. We offer an art and design foundation, a media production foundation, and a fashion and textiles foundation. Now they're kind of like a level 3 to 4 course, and they're free for anyone who is from the UK, living in the UK, and is 18 on the year of entry. And it's a fantastic year for students who have probably come from like an A-level perspective to kind of build up that portfolio, that knowledge and their skill set to support them to progress onto undergraduate courses. We found that students that do a foundation kind of do end up continuing and succeeding in their undergraduate courses. At Ravensbourne, those who do a foundation with us are automatically offered an undergraduate course, and we have some financial support awards in place to support those students. We have an ever-growing undergraduate portfolio, kind of not limited to, but including areas around animation, illustration, architecture, business, computing and games, which is a massively growing area this year. Photography, digital technology, fashion, graphics, design, marketing and advertising, music and sound, and TV and film, all kind of ranging throughout that creative and tech industry, like I said. We are quite a small university as things come, so it is a lot more personal and specialist, and they're kind of they get a lot more time with their tutors. So how do we do it? We work with these industry partners. Like I said, all of our courses are written in partnership with the people that you see on this screen. So they can say, yes, that's beneficial for graduates to know. That isn't. Yes, that's great for them to learn. That's the experience they'll need to come and really succeed and get a career that matters. Why do we do it? Because 1 in 8 businesses in the UK is a creative business, and it's an ever-growing economy. And since quite a lot of political change over the last 10 years has meant that the UK is kind of putting out a lot more creative outputs than ever before. Some of our graduates have gone on to do incredible things. I'm not going to play the sound on this, but I'll play this as I'm chatting. These are 2 students, Georgia and Lee, who are both first in their family to go to university. They did advertising and brand design at Ravensbourne, and now work for one of the biggest UK creative agencies called Mother. And this was their first kind of huge campaign for H&M, which was all about kind of women finding their voice, their moment, and taking up space. Something they're working on at the moment is Mother have paid for them to go and live in New York for 6 months to kind of learn all about what the American market has to offer and how that differs from the UK market. And they're doing incredible things, and they're kind of giving back a lot to young people too. So they come back and do talks for young people through our outreach programme. So if you engage with us, you might luckily get to meet them at some point too. Some of you may or may not have seen the film Scrapper. If you haven't, please go and watch it. It's cracking. Charlotte Regan graduated from Ravensbourne in 2016. This is her first feature, and it's won loads of prizes at Sundance and the BFI London Film Festival for kind of best newcomer, best debut, but also her kind of writing and directing is incredible. It's about a young woman who is left by her. She's an estranged young person, and she kind of lives in this world as a child for adults. But again, she's gone from this film course and gone straight out into industry and is making amazing things. I'm not going to play it for you. So how can we help you? What's my job, and how can we link up to support you? So like I said, I work in our outreach and widening participation team. Some of the things that we can offer you and your students is raising attainment and skills development workshops. This is something that's massively on our agenda at the moment. So that might be drawing workshops, kind of personal statement stuff, but also kind of building into that creative curriculum. So is there a particular type of photography they want to learn, or a particular type of camera technique they need to learn? We can deliver that. Information, advice and guidance around careers in the digital creative industries. We have an in-house creative careers studio as part of the university, who go out and deliver stuff in schools for us. We have a huge wealth of portfolio and showreel projects. A lot of students who go into a creative course have got to have a breadth of work, and we've got a number of projects that they can do at home or in the classroom to help them build up that work. We can offer application and interview support for you and your students, delivering mock interviews and helping them with their personal statements, or just talking about university on the whole. We have a number of holiday schools on offer, so I'm going to go through our summer school offer for this year in a second. And we have partnership schools where we offer early interviews with a member of our outreach team that your young people will have already met, to kind of reduce that anxiety and to give them an offer kind of pre the UCAS deadline, should they want to kind of know where they're going before that January kicks in. So Make It Ravensbourne is our offer for young creatives to participate in independently. So that means that they can sign up to come to a summer school. You don't have to bring them. And we have a number of extracurricular projects that happen over the weekends and during the school holidays. I'll share the links in the chat after I've finished, but we've got a kind of big online library of creative projects. So you can share this with the students directly, or with your colleagues that are those creative arts, digital media teachers. And they are lesson plans, they're portfolio workshops that can really build up that breadth of work for students. Make It is our 4-day summer school this summer from the 2nd to the 5th of July, which is open for all young people who are aged 16 and over. It works perfectly for year 12 work experience. So if you've got any students who can't find a work experience on offer, or haven't been able to meet that work experience this year, they can come along. It's built around the idea that they have to come up with a product or a service that solves an everyday problem, and they'll work in a team. So they'll get the chance to be a designer, project manager, content strategist, videographer, photographer, and then they'll have to pitch it kind of Dragon's Den style. So it gives them lots of experience with teamwork, working with people who are not just their colleagues in their class, but also getting that opportunity to pitch in front of a panel of industry professionals as well. So you can scan the QR code, or I'll send the links in the chat in a second. But these are on offer for students aged 16 and over. So if you've got any year 13s post-exams who are not quite sure, or any year 12s who haven't quite found what it is that they're sure that they want to do, then please send them along, tell them to come along my way. Then we also have a 2-day fashion summer school. So we found that students who want to go on and study fashion, we're seeing that when they're coming on to degree, they haven't necessarily always had as much time building and making stuff as possible. So we're doing this in partnership with this amazing organisation called Junk Couture, who do kind of climate action based fashion. So the students will be designing and making garments, accessories and looks out of fully recycled and found objects. This happens the 24th and 25th of June and is open to anyone age 14 plus. If you have any students who want to come to this, but obviously they're still on timetable, on the web page that QR code takes you to, there's a letter that kind of outlines what the learning objectives are and what Gatsby benchmarks it meets, so they can give that to school and they can be excused because it's still kind of curriculum focused. If there is anything that I've spoken about today, I'm aware I've gone through this at record-breaking time, and there's anything you want to get in touch with us about delivering one of these workshops, like I said, or you want to know a bit more about Ravensbourne, organise a trip to see us, you can contact us on outreach@rave.ac.uk or through our Instagram, and you can have a look at what kind of projects we've been up to recently at Rave Outreach on Instagram. And that is about it for me, and I'll stop. And if anyone has any, I don't know if there's time for questions, but if anyone has any questions, then do feel free to just ping them in if that's helpful. And I'll just share the links to those two web pages that I spoke about.
Thanks very much, Hattie. Any questions from anyone, either in the chat or unmute yourselves?
I've just shared the link, so that's like to our offer that your young people can sign up to directly, and then I'll share the kind of online portfolio guides as well in case anyone wants them.
Great, thank you very much, Hattie. I've heard of the film Scrapper.
It's beautiful.
Really good things, so I'm definitely going to watch that now.
Yeah, do. So much of it as well is like shot on that C2C line from West Ham out to Southend. So actually, anytime I've gone to schools in East London or Essex, they're like, I know that place. I know that place. So it's a really nice one for them to tie into. And Charlotte's from Essex herself as well. So it's a really nice tie-in for us. All my contact details are in the chat and those links as well. So if anyone wants to get in touch, then do feel free.
Great. How far do your students from Essex tend to travel, would you say? I'm guessing you're not getting a lot of people commuting from Harwich or Clacton.
We've been doing a lot of work with USP colleges, that group, so Benfleet. A lot of their students come from kind of out Canvey towards Southend, and some a little bit further. Ravensbourne, 97% of our applicants come from within a 2-hour drive from our front door. So absolutely, we are getting students from like a lot of our students mainly come from the South Essex side and North Kent, as well as kind of directly within our London catchment area as well. But with the rise of things like the Elizabeth line and the better transport links into Stratford, we are seeing our students come from much further afield, because it is just so much easier to commute. And unfortunately at Ravensbourne, we don't have our own accommodation on site. And as London is, it's not cheap, I'm not going to lie. So, but there is always that option to commute in for your 2 to 3 days a week on campus, and then you can come in and do anything. It's much cheaper to pay for the train in than it is to pay for rent to live in North Greenwich, I can assure you that.
Sure, I'm sure. And it must be quite inspiring to have young people who can see the previous generations making feature films, music videos, things like that, something that they can be, you know, and also get that sort of access to the London cultural scene, the BBC, what have you. And I guess, does that mean that they guarantee some placements within some of those companies to get put in the door, as it were?
Yeah, absolutely. So all of our second year students on undergraduate courses do now a work-based learning module. So every single one of them goes on a placement, and that is related to their course or subject of interest. And a lot of that work then goes on to kind of feed into their final major project, because we've kind of scrapped dissertations because we realised that creative brains don't always write 12,000 word essays the best. And we were losing a lot of students in the lead up to dissertation through anxiety and whatever. So actually we've reframed it, and our students can do a kind of big final major project that could be a film, or it could be a research piece, or whatever it is. And yeah, those kind of links with industry are really key, particularly within the media field. So TV and film, because of Brexit and a lot of filming used to happen in Europe, and it can't as much anymore. So it's happening a lot more within the UK, and there's a huge development of kind of the creative estuary that's going out from South and East London all the way out to Essex and Kent. So actually you guys are right along it and you're part of it. And there's that kind of huge development happening along there. So I know that when I went down to Canby the other day, they were saying that there's a new studio being commissioned to be built down there. And so a lot more stuff for is kind of a mini Pinewood is going down there. So again, what I'm saying to students is go get your qualifications, go and get that knowledge, and then by the time you've finished your degree, there's going to be that support there. There's going to be a job for you where you live, because 90% of students don't move out as soon as they graduate. They have to move home for a bit because it's dear, but actually there's going to be work in and around your local area or commutable to your local area rather than having to go to Manchester or be in London. So yeah, it's great. We saw last year we had two of our graduates, Chris Chucky and Tony Long, ran a film summer school for us. They wanted to come back and kind of give back to young people who were like them when they started. And then we managed to get a group of students who made an amazing film to go and shadow them on set of one of their kind of latest projects, which was with Mercedes and the BFI. So there are so many opportunities to kind of get that learning happening, not necessarily in a classroom, but out there in the world, I suppose. Sorry, I just saw a message. Does it say we do taster days and visit days? Yeah, absolutely. So my colleagues in the team do discover days. So they are short little workshops, student life talks, tours, but what we found works is actually saying come along, take part in a workshop, and it's supported by student ambassadors or recent graduates, and they can talk about the university whilst the students are doing something rather than just sitting and having a presentation. So we found that model tends to work for us a bit more, and also then they've learned something new as well. So I'll pop my email in there just in case you've missed it, but do feel free to get in contact with me. My name's Hattie, and we can sort something out. Okay, perfect.
Wonderful. Thank you very much.
No worries. I'm going to have to dash because I've got to head to something else, but it was so nice to see you all, and I hope you have a lovely day, and good luck, Rosie.
Thank you.
Thank you. Lovely to meet you.
So we do have Margot here now. Margot, you happy for Rosie to go next, or are you in a rush?
No, Rosie, take your time. Over to you.
Fab, thank you. I'll just share my screen. Hopefully you guys can see it. So let me know if you can't hear for any reason. But hi everyone, I'm Rosie Powley and I'm Head of Outreach at the University of Essex. Before joining the University of Essex about a year and a half ago, I used to work in the Southend Enterprise Advisor Network, what was the Greater Essex Careers Hub before it became the hub. So yeah, really lovely to see some familiar faces on the call and see some lovely career leaders and enterprise advisors. So a little bit about the team. Something that struck me when I used to work as an enterprise coordinator is that I'd never heard of the outreach team at the University of Essex. So I'm on a bit of a mission to spread the word far and wide. So a little bit about the team. Our aim is to help ensure young people and residents with the ability to access higher education are able to do so. So each year we reach approximately 10,000 young people and residents and teachers through our programmes. The outreach team is a team of 7 members of staff and we're based in the Colchester campus, but we work with schools across the whole of Essex. We're very different than the recruitment team, so we sit separately. The recruitment team go out and deliver some fantastic activities for young people, but we're specifically focused on young people from underrepresented groups, which I'll talk more about in a minute. We design and develop our programmes based on feedback from our partner schools, and we currently have 16 outreach partner schools which we work with very heavily across Essex. They are ones which we work with year on year, sort of a young person will work with us in year 9, 10 and 11 through a progressive programme. The way in which a school becomes an outreach partner school is that often we just do ad hoc work with them. A request comes in, we build a really strong relationship, there's sort of strong engagement from the school, and then we become sort of they become a partner school where we work much more closely with them if anyone's interested in becoming an outreach partner school. In addition to our partner schools, we also work with any school as long as they can guarantee that 80% of the students that are on an activity with us are from an underrepresented group. We really wish that we didn't have to do that, but just due to financial constraints, we need to make sure that we're absolutely reaching the young people that we need to reach. A little bit of a list of the target groups that we work with. It sort of is really wide ranging and encompasses most students, so students in receipt of free school meals, first in family to progress to university, from areas where participation into higher education is low, from underrepresented ethnic backgrounds who live with a disability, care experienced young people or those with experience of a social worker, young carers estranged from their families, who are from Gypsy, Roma, traveller communities, refugees and asylum seekers from military families, and mature students. And for us, that's anyone over the age of 21. Primarily, we work with those eligible for free school meals and first in family and care experienced young people. But next academic year, we're really looking at how we better support some of these other groups, specifically refugee and asylum seekers and mature learners. So a little bit about our activity and how you guys can get involved. So our activity is focused on sort of one of 4 key aims, or some programs focus on multiple, and it's all around raising aspirations, increasing knowledge of HE, increasing confidence, and also supporting students with their GCSE attainment. And some of our newer work focuses on this work stream. So all of our programs are coordinated by an outreach member of staff, but we also recruit and train current students to be at the forefront of our activities, really to act as them relatable role models for young people. And something that we're incredibly proud of at the University of Essex is a really diverse pool of student staff. You'll put on an activity, a campus visit for a school, you'll be recruiting 10 student ambassadors, and it's just amazing to look around sort of the diverse pool of students that we've got. Yeah, it's not a conscious effort for us to try and get a diverse pool of young people onto our activities, and that is just representative of the student body. So some of the offers that are available for career leaders and schools and colleges is, first up is our campus visits. You can simply request to book these anytime throughout the academic year. We run them in our Southend or Colchester campus. Funding is available to support schools coming to us. So we provide funding to our outreach partner schools, but also to a number of schools who aren't our outreach partner schools. This is limited, so if you like the sound of a campus visit, please do sort of contact the email after, and we can get a session booked in for next academic year. We can adapt our campus visit to meet the needs of the school, so the timings, the group size, the year group, what sessions the young people will receive. So they can have academic taster sessions for specific subjects, they could have mentoring, revision, and some of the more generic HE topics like WIGO, student finance. You can also tailor your campus tour if you've got a group of students that are really interested in sports facilities or a robotics lab or sort of life science. Then let us know and we'll do our very best to factor this in to the campus visit. We have themed events on our campus, so the outreach team lead the STEMtacular, the Big Debate and the Shakespeare Project. These are all really tailored and linked to the curriculum for local schools and colleges. They're really exciting events. I'm not sure if we'll definitely be running them next academic year, but it's worth keeping in mind the events that student recruitment do, which I've linked here because they do their own faculty specific events throughout the academic year. They do open days as well, so keep in mind that link. Also in school workshops and sessions, so in the same way that you book a campus visit, you can book in and request a school visit from us. You can have a whole year group a whole year group session, so we could come in and do assembly on a specific department. We've previously worked with the economics department, which was focused on sort of increasing aspirations in economics in females. So we did sort of a whole school assembly on that with our female academics in economics. So you can have a specific assembly, or you can have specific department sessions in your school. Something that a school requested this academic year, which worked really well, was a whole school virtual session. So we're more than happy come in person, an outreach officer, and we'll bring our student ambassadors. But this particular school asked for a virtual session for all of the different year groups within their school throughout the day. Each session was tailored to the year group and what was happening that week. I think some were tailored to Careers Week. But it was a really great way to meet every student in the school in one day. So we're keen to deliver that next academic year if anybody's interested. Or of course you can have shorter 1 hour sessions from us on a full range of either HE topics or subject specific. So we could come in and bring our specially trained mentors. They're a pool of students who have undergone DBS and training through us to become mentors. We can have revision sessions, student panels, VR headset sessions. So often this shows we've got 20 headsets in total, and it's a really engaging way to bring the campus to a group of students who might not necessarily be able to come onto campus with us, and they're free to be able to book in, and we'll lead a session for you. And then specific sessions for groups of students. So as I mentioned, if you're a career leader in the room and you've got specifically high numbers of care experienced students, refugees and asylum seekers, or young carers, or any that meet them underrepresented groups, we're more than happy to come in and deliver specific for them underrepresented groups. And then one of the final projects that we run is our English and Maths Club. This is focused on young people at risk of not achieving their pass grade in English and Maths GCSE, so on that 3 or 4 borderline. It provides our specially trained tutors. They're either English students or students studying a maths related degree, and they provide small group tutoring free of charge to the school over a 9-week period. At the moment, this is a really small scale offer to only a few schools, but if you do like the sound of it, please do get in contact and email the email address, and we'll put you guys on a waiting list because we're currently bidding for funding to see if we can expand this work, because it's been incredibly popular so far. We also run our summer residential, at the dreaded summer residential, the amount of risk assessments that go into it, but it's our year 10 one-night stay at the University of Essex, specifically targeted at partner schools, this one, but it could be subject to change, so really keen to get links with the local schools. And it's really aimed at showcasing university life, so mini lectures, evening barbecues, cinema experiences on campus, and it's a really, really fantastic event. So the final thing I just wanted to talk to you guys about and really promote is our teacher CPD offer for next academic year. Next year we'll be running a full series of monthly virtual teacher CPD sessions led by our university academics. This is for careers advisors but also teachers. The sessions are focused on teaching practices within specific subjects, and to sign up or hear more, please do email us. In addition to the virtual series that will be delivered next academic year, we also deliver in-person teacher CPD sessions, which have been quite popular this year, which is just whole school teacher CPD on topics such as metacognition, and that again is free of charge. So if there's any interest on a particular area or topic, please do get in touch. And then the final thing is our annual Teachers and Advisors Conference, which is here on the Colchester campus, and we run it in partnership with our student recruitment team. It's on Thursday, the 27th of June. We'd love to see as many career leaders on who are from the call today on campus with us on the 27th of June. We've got guest speakers from UCAS, from Student Finance, in addition to talks from a full range of our department specialists. And I've just pop up here like a little bit of an overview of the schedule, and we'd love as many career leaders as possible. So please do book on if you're interested. And that is everything from me. Oh, I've just got my contact details there, but thank you very much.
Thanks very much, Rosie. I'm not sure I caught that last one. Was that a virtual session on the 27th or face-to-face?
No, that one's face to face. I think lunch or refreshments are provided. I don't want to speak out of turn, but it's a really nice event. Oh, it must be lunch because yeah, full day event. So yeah, if anybody's interested, please come along.
Thank you. I've heard about these headsets. How are they going down? Are they? I'm guessing the kids love them.
Yeah, they're so much more popular than we anticipated. It was just an addition to somebody's workload in the team, and now, yeah, we're absolutely. They're so popular. We take them to any careers fairs that we can, any sessions. So yeah, please do book them in if you're interested. They're all quite interactive. They're all doing something. So whether it's the lab, there's a bit of a dissection happening. So if you're a bit squeamish, check before. But yeah, really interactive and really great resource.
And how many different settings? I'm guessing you have a different sort of setting per department, or how's it work?
Yeah, we haven't managed to reach every single department. It was specifically health and social care, science related and technology focused. So we've got things like our robotics arena, life science lab, sports facilities, health and social care labs, the oral healthcare lab down in Southend we've got on the headsets as well. So yeah, getting there as many as we can.
Great. In terms of the visits, would it be appropriate? You're talking about bespoke visits, depending on the cohort. Would it be appropriate, say, a group of students not expected to maybe go to university through the traditional routes? I know there are a few apprenticeships and things like that are at the university. Could it be adapted to that sort of thing?
Yeah, absolutely. If you want something bespoke like that, please just pop it in the booking form, and we'll work with the teacher or the careers leader to get it absolutely right for you. Um, we had a bespoke session this week, or just last week actually. I'm losing track. For young people with SEND, and yeah, the officer worked really closely with the teacher and we received some great feedback. So it sort of develops our understanding as a team as well, how best to work with different groups. So please do get in contact. That would be fine to do an apprenticeship specific one.
Or thank you. And I guess the other one would be maybe a benchmark 6, not just sort of benchmark 7s. Being a big employer in the area, you might want to be talking not just to the academic department staff, but also maybe the grounds people, the hospitality staff, that sort of thing. That would also be fine, I would imagine.
Yeah, absolutely. I love like weaving in benchmark 6 there. Yeah, but absolutely. We should get someone from HR to give a talk about the university in general, or one of our recruitment officers, have some different people come and speak down the corridor. So yeah, that would be good for us. We haven't done it before, but yeah, be up for it.
Great. Any other questions from anyone else? I think that means you've covered everything.
Thanks
Great.
so much, Tom. Thanks for having me.
Cheers. Thanks for
later.
coming. Cheers. Appreciate it. Right. That leaves Margot. Hiya.
Hiya. Last but hopefully not least, I will share my slides and get going. I now can't see the chat, but if you've got any questions, please just stop me as I go through, etc. Just a little bit of background first about Anglia Ruskin. So I'm a senior schools and college engagement officer within the outreach team at ARU. Our team is the schools and colleges engagement team, so a little bit different to Rosie. We encompass our recruitment and our outreach under one team. So there are kind of two sides of the same coin, if I can kind of explain it in that way. And we have 4 different campuses as well. So we have Chelmsford campus, obviously in Essex, and we have recently merged with the University of Writtle. They are now ARU Writtle. So we've taken on board all of their agricultural and animal courses as well. But then we also have our Cambridge campus and our Peterborough campus as well. All of our campuses have a slight different focus in terms of course provision. For example, our medicine course is only offered at Chelmsford campus, and our kind of creative courses are typically offered at Cambridge. So depending on your school or students' interests, it might depend on where we try to focus your visits, etc. with us. But typically we can generally offer like a well-rounded university visit at any of those campuses. We work really closely with our student ambassador programme. So Rosie mentioned theirs from Uni of Essex previously. We have a really good programme of current ARU students who will always support the majority of our visits, which we think is a really good opportunity for students when they come onto campus or when we visit schools. They're hearing from students, because as young as I want to pretend I am, eventually you kind of get a little bit older and a little bit less relatable, whereas our ARU students do a fantastic job of bringing university to life a little bit more. I've split up this presentation into kind of age groups and how we work with different age groups. So initially, primary school engagement, that would be solely under the outreach team. We run a programme called Reach for the Stars. It's currently happening at the minute. That's why I was a little bit late to this meeting. Apologies, I was travelling back from an event at Cambridge campus today. And it is aimed at Year 5 and younger students with a core focus on Key Stage 2 English attainment. So it's actually an intern-run project. So we employ multiple ARU student interns, and they design and deliver this project. It's focused on guided reading initially in schools. So our interns will go out into schools and deliver guided reading in small groups. And this is then followed by a campus visit where students come onto campus, they experience what university looks like, they have a tour and various different activities through that day. So they build their own university. There's often lots of like rocket ship launches and football stadiums in their design of their own university. So far this year, we've engaged with 344 students. It's really wide reaching. So it covers our Peterborough, Cambridge and Chelmsford campuses. So if you are interested at all, this is something that we would hopefully run again next year. And I will have contact details at the end as well. Moving on to pre-16 engagement, again, this is primarily led by our outreach team. I've listed a variety of different activities on this slide, but I'll pick out a couple just to kind of go over in a little bit more detail. So we have our Amplify Your Talent programs. These are primarily aimed at raising attainment for GCSE, maths and English. So Cook Up Your Maths and Finance Your Future are two progressive programs. So Year 9s would join us for Cook Up Your Maths, where they create their own meal, basically. So they do all the maths behind the shopping, and looking at kind of buy one get one free offers and incorporating all of those GCSE questions, but into like a real life tangible outcome. And they go off to Brexford Park and they actually cook this meal for each other and then do a taste test in their sixth session, and that's really fantastic. And then those Year 9s would move on to our Finance Your Future programme, which is for Year 10 students. And that really focuses on looking at kind of student finance, thinking about budgeting, working out how to budget whilst being a university student, looking into bursaries, into scholarships, into extra funding that you might be able to get, etc., and really thinking about needs and wants and how that incorporates, but also whilst doing those mathematical equations that will help with their GCSE qualifications. And then on the other side, we have dynamic debating and succession Shakespeare. Again, the Year 9s that start on dynamic debating will move through to success with Shakespeare. And again, completely aimed at supporting their English GCSE attainment. All of these projects are progressive, so there's 6 touch points, and they end with a celebration evening on one of our campuses where parents, teachers are all invited to see the work that those students have produced throughout those 6 weeks. Just picking out a couple more on there as well. Creative Forces Day. This is run in conjunction with Uni Connect partners, so Make Happen in Essex, and the Skip Alliance Hub as well. And these are bespoke days for service children, which is one of our target groups. And they are used to kind of explore their identity and different career aspirations. Most recently, we took a group to the Duxford Air Museum, where they had an opportunity to explore the museum, but also have different sessions as well from both our Uni Connect partners and an outreach colleague. I also offer bespoke neurodiversity days on campus, where we will open up campus visits to small groups of students, so trying to make it really accessible in a much more calm environment. And this is for year 9 to 11, and it's just offering an insight into the support that is available at university, getting them onto campus, getting them to kind of start believing and thinking about university, but also being really open and honest about the huge variety of support that AIU can offer through our disability and dyslexia team. We also run Saturday clubs, so that's in partnership with the Saturday Club Trust, and these are covered in creative industry and School of Art, and then also the Faculty of Science and Engineering. It's an opportunity for WP students to explore specific university topics, and this is something that it's a 12-week programme. And again, we will look to offer this again next year. And again, they have a celebration event at the end of that to kind of see the work that has gone through those opportunities. It's worth noting as well, we do offer ad hoc visits for pre-16 engagement. So if your school or college is interested in just bringing a group of students on, not necessarily for one of these events, but just for a general kind of university taster day, we can offer that as well. Moving on to our post-16 engagement, this is where our recruitment team kind of step in as well, and a lot of the work is done by both sides of our team. Level 3 Learner Day is something that I look after. I am the named contact for all care experienced or care leaver students who are interested in applying to ARU, and I run days in both our Cambridge and our Chelmsford campus for any care experienced or looked after children who are studying level 3 qualifications and just want to learn more about university. They can come on to a campus visit where they know that the staff members and the student ambassadors that are working that day understand kind of their background as looked after children, and are able to give bespoke advice about the support that we offer our looked after children, the bursaries that we offer, how they might do an application, etc., etc. So they're really fantastic days, and are in the diary for next year. So our Essex Day should be the 22nd of October, and Cambridge is the 24th, and they're run in close connection with the virtual schools as well. So Essex Virtual Schools and Cambridgeshire and Peterborough Conjoined Authority Virtual School. Again, we run taster days, so these are primarily run by our recruitment team and are in connection with subject tasters for year 12s and 13s. We can link up with a variety of different faculties and do specific core subjects, or kind of a carousel of lots of different things. So most recently, we are advertising our NHS taster days, which cover nursing, social work, ODP, etc. And so students have an opportunity to go around a carousel of different opportunities. These are always advertised on our website or on unitasterdays.com, so please do just keep an eye out on that over the year. And equally, if your school or college would like to have a bespoke one just for yourselves, it's always worth getting in contact with us, and we would look to facilitate that where possible. We run an offer holder summer experience, and the clue is in the name. That is for anyone who is holding a offer to join us in September. So this is invite only, but it's designed to support the transition from your level 3 study into undergraduate life, and it's run in connection with our own facilities, so our student services get involved, student ambassadors get involved, and it's just an opportunity to come onto campus and explore campus, meet with your faculty members, but also there's a week long of different virtual activities as well. So if you are unable to travel onto campus, you can still access everything and all the information. We were also running summer residentials. I concur with Rosie, the risk assessments are pretty strenuous. We are offering these to year 12 students. It's a 4-night residential from Sunday through to Thursday. We're running them in Cambridge and in Chelmsford. In Cambridge, we are offering out character design and business and law from the 7th of July to the 11th of July. And then on our Chelmsford campus, we have a medicine summer school, which is now only operating at a reserve list, a business and law summer school as well, and then a summer school bespoke to service children. The service children summer school is for anyone whose parents or carers are in the armed forces, are in the reserve army, or are veterans, and it is focusing on research opportunities, so understanding how a university student might conduct research, and it is being run in conjunction with the BFI. The dates for the Chelmsford one, the 14th to the 18th, so the week following the Cambridge summer school. They're all still open for application, so you can use the link in the QR code, or I will send out a whole kind of crib sheet of links afterwards. But really great opportunities, fully funded. The students live on campus, food is provided, so they don't need to spend a penny in terms of accessing that opportunity. And it's just a great opportunity to meet different people and to come onto campus and really get a really good taste of what university life is all about. They follow an academic programme during the day, and then a social programme in the evenings. We also have a whole host of different IAG talks in terms of student finance, budgeting, degree apprenticeships, how you might choose your course, how to write a personal statement. These are all things that our recruitment officers offer, and they can be done virtually as an assembly or face-to-face or as part of a parents' evening. So, for example, if you wanted a year 13 parents' evening, including a personal statements talk or a student finance talk, that's something that we would be able to offer. And we also have obviously our standard open days, applicant days, but we also have just ad hoc campus tours as well. So these are bookable every single Friday on campus. You would be led by a student ambassador. And it's really just if you want to come on and just have a general tour of campus, just a handful of people, and kind of get that experience. But if you want a more kind of fleshed out campus visit, then it would be to contact us through the schools and colleges inbox. And then on to our parent carer and teacher advisor support. So very similar to Rosie, we do also offer an annual IAG conference for our teachers and advisors. These have been and gone for ARU this year, but we will be sure to advertise them out again next year. They're held at all of our campuses, so whichever you're closest to, etc. And again, we will have typically have guest talks on student finance or UCAS updates, and then an opportunity to speak to all of our faculties as well. And then we've got a variety of different parent carer support. We work closely with Parent Power, so a partnership with the Brilliant Club and Brightside Mentoring, and that looks to create and develop parent carer communities. This is mainly based in Peterborough and the Fenland, so it might be a bit beyond kind of the scope of this meeting, but always worth kind of highlighting in case there are those different connections in different areas. We always try and invite our parents to our celebration events as well, so particularly for Amplify Your Talent. We love getting our parents and carers onto campus to really show off what their young people have been doing with us over the course of those programmes. And we also are more than happy, like I said previously, to offer parent evening talks as well. So please do get in contact with us if that's something that your school or college would be interested in. Just a few kind of accolades and different things that we wanted to highlight as well, mainly that again that merger with Writtle University, so being aware that if you're after spoke sessions at Writtle University, that would now be ARU Writtle. We can still offer campus visits and campus tours of Writtle, but just to kind of flag that in everyone's mind that we have now merged and it is one of the same. And then, yeah, please do get in contact with schools and colleges at aru.ac.uk if you want any more information. And that is me, short but sweet, hopefully. But does anyone have any questions? No? Okay, perfect. Thank you.
I think that means it was very comprehensive, Margot. Thank you very much for your time.
That's no worries.
And you've put your email address in there. Oh, that's somebody else.
Yeah, no, I'll pop it in now. That's fine.
Brilliant. Yeah, I'll just pop Rosie's in as well in case anyone missed Rosie's. Yeah. Lindsay?
Hi there, yes, Alison from St Thomas More High School. Just wondering, is it possible to get copies of the slides? There's obviously a lot of some contact details and things on some of the slides for all 3 presentations. That would be really useful to just look over again, if that's okay.
Yeah, we can definitely send them over. No problem at all.
That's great, thank you.
Anyone else from today? Any questions? Right, we've got 8 minutes left. All I'll say is that our next webinar is on the 4th of June. Slides and recordings of today will be added to the Quiz Hub website this week. So Charlotte will make sure that's up on the website. Speaking of the website, our webinar web links, which you probably know where this is because you're here, but I'll stick it in the chat anyway. So what have we got coming up? The 4th of June, we've got choosing a partner platform. So we've got presentations from Unifrog, Morrisby and Zello, all of which are compatible with Compass Plus. And I'm sure they'll be vying for your custom, and I'm sure they'll have offers and things like that. So that might well be worth attending. And then after that, we've got 2 next month, the 25th of June, we've got one on using FSQs, so future skills questionnaire, something that's really big at the moment. It's a key stakeholder resource, something that you can use to help evaluate your program year in, year out. So it's something very easy to click a button and send out to year group. Not as easy to make sure that you get all the replies back from every student. So there's a little bit of prep involved with that. And then crucially, why are we gathering that information? It's, as I say, it's to actually see whether just because you put an event on doesn't mean the students have actually learned something and feel more aware of what that means, etc. So that's on the 25th of June using the FSQ Future Skills Questionnaire. Well, thanks.